We have a major New York Rangers update to go over today, as this has serious implications on the lineup and the team moving forward. We're also going to break down a couple players having a major impact on the team and one defenseman that the New York Rangers are rumored to be interested in. We're going to break it all down in this episode of Rangers Digest. But before we do that, a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button. About 68% of you who watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. So if you want to stay up to date with everything that's going on with the New York Rangers, from the playoff push to trade rumors heading into the trade deadline, it's free. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Now, the first piece of news to get into today is a piece of news that I was not hoping we were going to get. I was hoping we were going to get better news, but unfortunately, Adam Edstrom, this has been officially announced from the New York Rangers. Lower body injury, is going to miss and going to be out for 2.5 to 3.5 months at this point. This injury that he sustained just a couple games ago could be season ending for Adam Edstrom. Now you're wondering, why is this, why does this have implications moving forward for the team, right? Like, this guy's a fourth liner. What's this about, right? Adam Edstrom, as of late, and not just Adam Edstrom, the entire fourth line has been putting up great numbers and actually being a difference-making role for the team right now. And I mean, they need the fourth line to be on board. All good teams do, and that is what they have been doing recently. And again, this is from Dan Rosen. Adam Edstrom will miss 2.5 to 3.5 months with a lower body injury. He's been playing well in a fourth line role. This could be season ending depending on his recovery and also how the team plays, because if the team misses the playoffs, we might not see Adam Edstrom again this season, which is very disappointing. But again, fourth line's been very good, and I have to echo Johnny Lazarus's statement again here. Carrick got a lot of glory the past month or so, for how well the fourth line has been, and credit where credit is due. I mean, Sam Carrick's been fantastic the last month. I mean, there was a week and a half there where not just him, but the entire fourth line was winning the Rangers games outright, it seemed like. So Edstrom, to me, was the guy leading it all. Significant loss to the lineup. And again, I'm not going to say Edstrom was better than one guy on the fourth line, or another guy was better than Edstrom, anything like that. I think the fourth line, as a collective group, the last month or so has been playing fantastic. They've been a difference maker. They absolutely have. So, I mean, at one point there was some fans saying you can't rely on your fourth line to win you games. This is what the problem is with the Rangers is, right? They've been playing well. They have been playing fantastic. So this is why the New York Rangers didn't trade away Jimmy Vesey. You've got a motivated guy coming in. So that's the other thing with this move and kind of how it plays into the lineup going forward. And we'll get into the lineup in just a second. But in terms of stats, I wanted to get into these and what Edstrom and Carrick have been doing so far this season. I mean, Sam Carrick has 15 points in 52 games as a fourth liner. And again, he's been really good as of late. And it's not just that, it's the defensive play. We saw it against, Vegas as well. We saw it against a couple other teams when they were on that road trip. Really playing well defensively and just putting his body on the line for the team. Love to see that. And then again, in terms of Adam Edstrom, not the greatest season, but his first not pro season, but his first season full-time in the NHL, and in 51 games played, 9 points, a lot of those coming recently. Obviously, he wasn't doing much, but again, he's only 24, and he's kind of fitting into this role really nicely as of late. And again, he's a big body there. Him and Rempe on the fourth line is a problem for other teams. And Rempe, again, only 17 games played so far this season, 3 points. He's not there to put up points. We know what he's there for. We absolutely know what he is there to do. But this does have pretty big implications on the lineup moving forward. So these are the lines, the forward lines, I should say, and the D pairings at practice today. This is from Molly Walker. So Panarin, Miller, Zibanejad, not touched. Love that first line. That is a formidable first line. I mean, Miller up the middle. He is a true number one center for this team at this point. Moving Zibanejad to the wing full time, which looks like it's going to be the case. I'm going to have another video tomorrow in terms of what the Rangers could look for in a trade. Again, nearing the deadline. This is kind of brilliant from Peter Laviolette. Zibanejad has been horrible at center this season. Defensively, unresponsible, whatever you want to call it. He's been awful. So moving him to the wing where he's less liable for things like that is a brilliant move. Panarin, of course, having a great season. Then the second line, Lafreniere and Trocheck have had some built-in chemistry, so I wouldn't touch them. They look good together. And then having Smith there, I mean, you can't really move Smith down. Kreider, injury-riddled season. He's on the third line. I've liked Cooley's game. I think Cooley could even earn a promotion up to the second line. That's just my personal opinion. And then VC slots in there on the fourth line with Carrick and Rempe, obviously. But now you have a motivated VC coming into the lineup, and I think that should be a good thing heading into a rematch against the Boston Bruins tomorrow night. Should be fun. Lindgren and Fox again. Miller and Borgen. Borgen has been really good since coming over to the Rangers, so love that pairing. Miller, I think there's still a lot left to be desired for Keandre Miller for me, and Vakanainen and Schneider there on the bottom. So the real only change is obviously VZ coming in and Brzezinski coming in on the third line center position. So we'll see how that plays out tomorrow against the Boston Bruins. But all eyes are on JT Miller again, because he's been a huge difference maker for this team. And in terms of making a difference, I mean, he's been everything as advertised. This is from Vince Mercogliano. JT Miller has lived up to the hype through his first 2 games back with the New York Rangers. The coveted combo of skill and tenacity has been evident. I mean, Lafreniere's goal, if you go back and watch it, that's all JT Miller in front of the net, just messing it up and all that good stuff. So he was clearly the best player the other night as well against the Vegas Golden Knights. He was the best player in the game before that against the Boston Bruins, obviously scoring 2 goals in that game. So he's been a huge difference maker for this team. The last thing I wanted to bring up before we wrap up here, a couple last things I should say. Wanted to touch on Ryan Lindgren at the end as well. Is, Ryan Lindgren could be on the way out. So what's going to replace him? I said in a video earlier that I don't know if it's actually going to be, Ryan Lindgren in return for somebody who can immediately make an impact in the NHL straight up. I don't think that's the case. I feel like it's going to be Ryan Lindgren for some type of asset, and then maybe you can use those assets to then flip them into another trade. And it looks like the Rangers do have interest in the San Jose Sharks' Mario Ferraro, a defenseman, a physical force as well. Ferraro is indeed in play. The Sharks are listening, and there's some chatter that the Colorado Avalanche are one of the teams interested. And it sounds like, the Rangers are always in the mix for a lot of these players and a lot of these teams. So could be Mario Ferraro in the mix as well now. Left shot defenseman. The Rangers could, to a degree, use some help here on the left side. Obviously, Lindgren could be on the way out. Maybe you move Ferraro in. Maybe, a good pairing. Maybe you move Miller back with Fox. That's an option. Maybe you have Ferraro with Fox. Ferraro is more defensively responsible. Fox obviously can go up and do his thing on offense. That could be a good pairing, right? So maybe play around with that. Again, I don't think Lindgren is, going to stay with this team past the trade deadline. I feel like Chris Drury is going to do everything in his power to move this player off the roster just to get assets back, because, there is just no way. I do not see I love Ryan Lindgren, and I think he's been great in his time with the New York Rangers, but that time I think is coming to an end. It's time to move off of that player, and I don't see a world where they re-sign him this offseason. So why not move him for some type of asset in the meantime? I feel like that's the way Chris Drury is going to go. So let me know what you think about, obviously, Adam Edstrom's injury. That is a tough loss for the Rangers, but now you have a hungry Jimmy Vesey coming back into the lineup. Obviously, the defense pairings, and maybe Mario Ferraro could fit in nicely with the New York Rangers. I think that's another option. And let me know about JT Miller's play. He's been fantastic. I'm excited to see what he does against the Boston Bruins tomorrow night. So let me know what you think in the comments. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with everything New York Rangers.